like to call the Facilities Committee meeting to order at 4:34. And Mr. Levens, as usual, if you would update us on the happenings at the Varsity campus.
Okay, so I think last month we talked, I was very happy and pleased with the custodial condition kind of on both campuses. And it seemed like we gotten where we wanted to be for the most part, like to survive. But what happens is somebody calls off, somebody takes their vacation time, and everything falls apart. So we're on eggshells. We've had multiple issues at both campuses dealing with custodial issues. In fact, I was joking with Adela saying, you're not allowed to take off any more time because you were gone for 2 weeks and it's been a struggle. And on the freshman campus, the same situation. Once someone's out,
So you just don't have enough people.
don't have enough people, and the quality of the substitutes, if there is a substitute, becomes
Not enough backfill.
not very good. I will say, Andres Acevedo, our Airmark OM, they're offering overtime. People will come in on Saturday to try to catch up, but obviously that doesn't help with the day-to-day. So,
You think it's just because of the holiday season?
well, I mean,
People.
our staff has vacation days.
All right,
They're allowed to take them, so.
So back up, okay, at last meeting, we were at 7 full-time custodians here at the Varsity campus. We were down 1. So,
Well,
That's what
at some
you
point, right. We had just kind of gotten.
Right,
positions.
but so we were at 7 and we were chasing 1.
Yeah, the Go
Has
section,
that changed?
no, the Go section still remains, but what they've done is, the Fantastic Four put in 2 hours every night and they cover the Go section. But what happens is one of the Fantastic Four is out.
So we have no.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just trying to understand the staffing
We have
situation.
no.
So, I mean, that was our first big struggle, is actually getting people into the spots.
Where we're still
Down 1.
We're still down the Go section, yes.
So
And there's a ticket put in to fill that section, but it was told to me that
Okay, good.
since it's a shortage across the city, and we seem to be managing, that they probably won't be in a rush to fill a ticket, which is actually in the system. Meaning, them filling our Go section is not a priority for them,
Okay, good.
because they have all these other tickets to fill, like permanent positions here, permanent positions there. I've been working at trying to convert the Go section into a permanent position. Again, Mr. Acevedo agrees. He's walked through the building. I've shown him the issues. I've shown him the Go section. I've told him, and he's given me an outline of all the sections. We should have 8 full-time at night. But right now, that's not what it is. It's a ticket to fill the section temporarily. So I'm working to make a permanent solution, but right now, we're managing Go section, and the Fantastic Four will continue to do the 2 hours afterwards to try to keep it safe. But they have been very good about offering the overtime. We had one of our daytime all-stars come in on Saturday, took care of the outdoor campus, took care of some of the Go section to catch it up. But it's just an ongoing battle and issue.
So Principal G,
I'm sorry.
I respect the totality of the situation. It isn't isolated to TAM. This is a system-wide issue. It appears from what we've been told, and I'm assuming they're not lying to us, that in fact, finding the labor is the challenge. And once they find the labor, then they have to go through the process and the onboarding process. Having said that, I always wait till getting to point Z until we've exhausted every other letter that we possibly can exhaust. I'm almost at this point, like we start, that the LSD formally prepares a letter to CPS, to the JLL consultant, to the chairman of, I don't want to go there if you think if there would be retaliation against us.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be retaliation. I'm just wondering whether we'd be spinning our wheels. That's the only thing. I don't want to.
However, it becomes on record now.
I understand. Pat, let me ask you this. We can't get custodians, correct?
We're
So
down
We-
one.
It's filling, it's.
We have
filling-
7 here. We're
Filling
7
the go
full-time.
section is the issue, so they've got a ticket in, filled position, but not permanently, it's just another temporary fix, which I've gone back and forth with them for years. It's filled, they take it away, it's filled, they take it away, so the ticket's already in the system.
But there's another issue that's as equally as important, and the quality of the work that's not being done.
That is really one of the substitutes here. So when we have our regular custodians, the building is in much better condition. The minute, remember, you have such a fragile kind of ecosystem here, you take one person out, you're talking about half a floor.
Understood.
Right, and so the minute that happens, that's what it is. The freshman academy was horrible. Like, they hadn't had issues like this all year, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm listening to these issues and talking to Andres, and he's saying he's gonna move a guy back to the night, he's gonna move this guy over to the day. It was really,
Pat, am I correct in thinking that when we have substitute custodians, these are not people that signed up to be a substitute custodian? They signed up at a school and the school said, they're not
not
probably.
necessarily,
No,
I mean,
okay.
they're trying to recruit people, they've had job fairs,
Okay,
they're trying to get people. I think part of the issue is, it's almost like our security situation, where the north side candidates or the northwest side
I know,
candidates
we're in the top
in
corner.
this area,
I know.
not a lot of applicants, and so
Yeah.
people are not like really responding to security postings because
The travel.
once we talk to them, they live, south of 290, they're like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's 2 hours of driving.
Right, which I
And there
would-
still is a city requirement, they have to live in the city.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's, it stinks for schools like Taft and Washington. who's in the
Okay, but
bottom.
we have to solve for X. And
Well-
I almost feel like we need to publicly, not publicly, but we need to be on record with CPS and with JLL.
So
Let
we are 1,000% on record. I
How?
guarantee you.
How is it memorialized other than verbal conversation?
I sent emails, Jimmy Franco is the new JL rep, he's well versed in TAP. I went to the office hours that where Mr. Carson was removed from his position. I went to those office hours and documented those. And I even talked to, after he was removed, went to one of the office hours and reiterated our situation. So there's no way there's a situation like what happened with the situation in the locker room, where all of a sudden it's nothing's there, because I've got it kind of documented for myself.
Mr. Crusoe, where they may be pliable right now because they've already had they've already changed this. It's this year they gave us some miscellaneous positions. They gave us a couple of assistant, and we couldn't fill those because they were $15 an hour positions, and they were over in February. And everybody I'm talking to was like, I can go to Wendy's and make $15. So what we did is we rolled those into the assistant position, which is $35,000 a year in benefits. So we were able to fill those. The reason I tell you that is I think that the solution is let us hire our own custodians. I'll give you 2 custodians. I can carve that out of the budget by just trimming a couple of things.
Will they not allow you?
No, they don't. But
Well, we got
here's-
the
here's thing,
contract,
like,
yeah.
they're gonna say you're taking away someone's job. And we come back, there's no job there to be taken. No one wants that job. So I think that's our thing, is that let us hire 2 positions. We're healthy enough to where I can carve that out in a heartbeat. And then they're just to Pat. And then they wherever Pat wants them, then they can go. So I think that's our odds right now, because they're just gonna be like, oh, another school is pissed off on this thing, file it away, and it's gonna be spinning on wheels. But if we could pursue that, let us hire our own two whatever positions. I think that's our goal.
How do we propose that?
Then you gotta fill it.
The network chief is coming tonight.
The network chief is coming
Okay.
tonight.
You gotta fill it too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a conversation with her.
Mhm.
This is what her job is, to help us, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what the network chief's job is, to sort of
Yeah.
facilitate for us on our behalf and our students' behalves?
We can ask her that.
Let's let her do her job and work for us.
That's fine.
I should actually make sure I introduce her
Her
tonight.
name is Dr. Lamone.
There's always a way.
I know.
And
People, I did, this is the first time in 15 and a half years that I've actually seen CPS thinking outside the box.
Good.
Instead of we've always done it this way, we will not change. And I think the times have brought that about, so I think that they might be pliable right now. I really do.
So let's,
I think we really need to emphasize that we have COVID, we have all of these things going on, and this is more important than
Emptying a
these,
wastepaper
than these,
basket,
than these,
yeah.
than these rules.
and we're geographically challenged in this.
Yeah.
We are, yeah.
And being the largest neighborhood school, we have a lot more garbage and
Right.
spaces to clean than a lot of
Right, we're
other
the
schools.
largest neighborhood school, we're in a corner, we're out of reach.
Geographic.
And so all we need is the
Okay.
approval for us to hire
Yeah.
2 people. We don't want your money. We just want the approval to be able to
Yeah,
hire
how
2
do we do
people.
it? How do we facilitate that? Would they be, who would be the employer?
Would be Taft High School.
What
But
other?
that doesn't.
Or CPS,
HR,
you're
you have to create positions, like even when we.
So you're saying it can't be done yet?
They always say you're taking away a union position.
Oh,
And my take on that is nobody wants a union position, so I'm not taking it away from anybody. If anybody wants to fill it, they can have it.
okay. Let's do, what's the scale's name? What's our?
Dr. Lamone,
Okay,
Laura
let's-
Lamone.
We'll ask her.
Let's pitch it to Dr. Lamone afterwards and see what she says.
And it just in ca, you know, I don't know, I mean, I'm assuming she's staying the whole meeting, but I don't know if you wanna maybe bring that up during facilities report.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'd wanna make sure you
Happy to.
catch her.
I certainly don't want to, what I would try to do is if you can, let's talk to her before the main meeting.
Sure.
Yeah.
And see if we can grab her before the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
want to put her on the spot.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all.
no, no, but maybe just, you know,
I will
you
certainly,
say,
during
right,
facilities, that this
Right.
is an, this is continuing.
and needs an out-of-the-box solution.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ed, I think the horse is, you know, dead now and stinking because we kicked it and beat it so hard. Can we move on to something else here at the?
Well, I mean,
at the varsity campus?
unfortunately, we're seeing an uptick in bathroom issues again.
What issues?
Let's see, the good one was somebody took a garbage bag out of one of the garbage cans and somehow inserted it into the toilet. It caused some backup. Honestly, through about 4 different washrooms.
This is still varsity?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
teenagers.
We're still at varsity campus.
Okay.
Caused flooding
We'll
in
do
some
freshmen
other
next.
bathrooms, so it took a while to kind of put them up.
Men, boys, or girls?
The garbage bag was in the second floor boys' room. And it took really quite a bit of time and effort to get it cleared, to open up the other washrooms. Graffiti has been cut down, but I had to close the washroom again today to try to get some graffiti off the wall. Hasn't been as prevalent. And the girls, as a shout out to the students, you know, they're starting to speak up a little more. We were able to catch a graffiti artist, you know, in the girls' area, and I think that's been curbed.
Is she is she taking any art classes? Maybe we need to,
You know, we honestly, part of our restorative
Yeah.
practices, you know, the harm you cause, how do you fix it? And they actually cleaned up their own graffiti,
Yeah.
which, you know, this is what you have to do. So that's part of.
That's it? That's all that
Well,
happened?
no, so the Taft High School, we believe in restorative practices.
Destruction of
Escalated.
public property?
Well, if you take each individual and you have to look at their complete behavioral record.
Yeah.
Okay? Well,
Okay, so we've
so
got,
there has been a little bit of an uptick this week.
okay, and remind me, is it anything related to this TikTok thing that happened?
No.
Okay, so this is just random, stupid.
Yes.
Okay. So we had, okay, so it seems to be the boys' bathrooms are a little more defaced than the girls, or?
You know, it's equal opportunity. I mean, but for the most part, it seems like the greater damage comes from boys. But I've had to close down, we've had to close down some, you know, girls' washrooms to get it cleaned up.
Okay, I don't mean to like. we
Our
don't-
security team, we are literally outside.
I get it.
washrooms.
So what I was gonna say is, and I don't wanna put more work on you, but is there any school in CPS who's figured out how to manage their bathroom situation? Cause I think most schools have issues with bathroom. Is there anyone who has really great ideas that maybe we could incorporate?
The freshman academy is doing pretty well with the bathrooms.
because they're 7th, 8th graders who haven't,
The client, it's just.
Who actually are more like 6th and 7th
It's
graders.
the group, it's just
right?
the group we have to work with.
and they haven't been, poisoned by their parents yet and social media to the fullest extent. So they're good kids, they're good people.
Well, I've talked to a different high school who said, said that they're working on, of course, reworking because of the pandemic and remote issues. They're reworking on their kind of original climate and culture issues, building up the student community again. And they said that before the shutdown, the students were really good about letting the staff and teachers know when something was going on, that they cared about their fellow students and each other. So they were more likely to come in and help, and when issues are happening. And, but that's a long-term kind of thing and I think where everybody's kind of almost back to square one, where you got to build your student body
I
uh,
back up.
agree with you 1,000%. It's all about creating environments where students take pride in their school.
Yeah.
Right, so we have to rebuild almost from scratch.
Yeah.
Prior to the pandemic, honestly, we were in a great position.
Yeah.
The students were here, they were involved, we weren't having, we had obviously one-offs and issues, but nothing to this scale.
I also-
Students have returned,
Yeah,
and they're still kind of getting acclimated. Like I said, the greatest part is they're finally reporting things.
That's great to hear.
They're finally reporting things. And it's starting-
Principal G, is there any merit in and I love your Friday communications, but maybe it's a special one to parents, to talk with your kids about the ramifications of destructive behavior, as specifically as it relates to destruction in bathrooms. And we have some kids who don't want to even use our bathrooms because they're afraid to use our bathrooms. Period. Forget that they're destroying the property. But we have kids who go all day without going to the bathroom because they don't want to go in the bathrooms because of the stuff that's going on in the bathrooms. Can we ask our parents
of course, I can do any of that.
to be parents and have it,
Yeah, but the problem
with
is,
their kids?
I
and
can
be-
do that. The problem is,
You're
Mr.
not
Russo,
animals. You're not
the
animals.
problem is the parents that are reading it are already on board. It's the ones that aren't reading it, and the ones that probably kids don't have the parents, and the parents are working to
I
jobs.
agree with that.
So it's a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so let's spin a little bit. Let me tell you something good. Okay, here's something good. Vaping is down tremendously from pre-pandemic to after.
Wonderful.
They're in there, they're hanging out. I walk in there in the morning in this one bathroom, there's always 12 kids. Hey, Mr. T, how you doing? I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're not doing anything. They're sitting there meeting and talking, and I'm like, can't you find a corner?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
gross.
honestly, some guy is in the bathroom and you're 3 feet away. Go around the corner. And that's their little thing there. I don't think they're vaping because I walk in and they're not, and it's just kind of weird. That's their safe spot where they know there's no videos on it and stuff like that.
And they won't get scooted in the hallway,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just visiting.
Yeah, but the vaping is definitely down a lot. We do catch some kids once in a while, but before pandemic, it was more, right, Pat? You would say definitely more?
Honestly, Mark, I'd have to see the data.
Oh, okay, well, trust
I
me.
do think that Kat said that today in the safety meeting.
No, I know.
I don't know what her exact
Ryan,
numbers were.
Ryan told me to, because I was talking to Ryan about it, and he's like, hey, over here,
We can ask Kat, she usually jumps on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
There is so much of your time and the scarce custodians' time that we have, that they spend way too much time in these stupid bathrooms because of negligence on the kids' behalf.
Security time,
Yeah.
custodial time, engineers time, it's a lot. It's not good.
So,
I would agree with that.
and I hear you, Principal G, I'm so sick and tired of when are parents gonna parent? I just, when that can happen?
I think that's out of our scope, honestly, Chris.
I know, and it's frustrating as a parent. I don't know what the answer is, but this is ridiculous.
And I
It's
would
destruction of
tell-
property, it's an offense.
I know, I would tell any person here that doesn't want to go to the bathroom all day, that they need to reach out to an adult, or they need to find another bathroom, because we have plenty of bathrooms that are fine and that are open. So
So I've heard from 2 people.
only 2 so you're telling 2 out of 4,000. Go
I've heard
ahead.
of 2.
Go ahead.
And I still think 2 is too many.
Out of 4,000. I mean, this is like anecdotal evidence. There's always gonna be one or two like
I get
out there. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I mean, I'm here every day. I walk all the bathrooms.
So they should come to you and you'll escort them to the
I'll
bathroom.
I'll say, let's use this bathroom right here. And they're like, oh, okay. So
Okay,
I really, I mean, it's just, if they're like that, I think that's just being too dramatic. There's a lot, yes, there are some that are
okay.
like crowded, but I'm like, you know what? There's one of, I didn't even know this one was here. I didn't know this one was here.
Okay.
Also, Pat and I are gonna sit down, I think over the break, and we're gonna look at the bathrooms. We're gonna because we've got some bathrooms that have like 7 stalls that are like to the faculty. And I know I'm gonna move them around a little bit, and I'm gonna get a little pushback from the faculty, but I've got 4,000 kids or 3,000 kids here, and I've got, 200 faculty members. So we have to, the bigger ones, we have to reallocate to the students.
You know what I think would be a good idea is,
Yeah.
this is our student, what's, Emma, Ellie,
Amelia,
Amelia, and then we have the 2. Let them send out a survey monkey to the kids.
Yeah.
And say, how can we improve the bathroom situation
Yeah.
at our school? What can we do as students?
We can do that.
Let's put it on them. We're always saying, let's talk to the students, let's
What-
have them initiate. How do we, here are the issues. What are the issues? Destruction of property, vis-a-vis flushing stuff down the toilet, graffiti, breaking urinals off the wall.
Well, that kind of.
I'm just saying, let them identify the problem and have the students come up with a solution on what to do.
One of the things we're looking at right now, honestly, is we actually talked about putting all the kids' student bathrooms in the old part of the building.
What does that accomplish?
And we can concentrate our security over there, because right now they're scattered all over the place. So I can have a security guard on one floor, like, by the special ed department, and they can look at both bathrooms, instead of having them scattered all over the place. So
I just think that if they would be, a student voice committee, hey guys, here's what's going on. This has become a really ridiculous issue that we're facing.
You
What
don't
do
have
you
to tell them,
think?
they know it, yeah.
How do we fix it?
I know that they do have a survey going on right now. I'm not exactly sure all the questions on it. But maybe the other thing too, when you sit, like maybe we have some nice big signs on the bathrooms, making the bathrooms more obvious. I don't know. Is that really a problem that students don't know where all the bathrooms are? Or maybe you and Mr. Levins can do a video. You know how you do your cool videos? Maybe during the break, you guys can go around and do a video about this bathroom never even gets used, guys.
Well,
I just think it's
Tell
fun.
them where the
All
bathrooms
of
are,
the-
that they don't have to go.
all the bathrooms are,
I just think it would be a fun exercise, because we're always saying, we really need to include our kids more, get their
I'm not
voices.
against that at all.
No, that's a great idea.
This is their bathroom, let them solve the problem for it, come up with some solutions. We know what the problems are, help us fix it. How do
Some
we-
of them too busy and some of them not getting used.
No, there's destruction going on.
Oh, again?
They're all being used.
I was told St. Ignatius had $100,000 worth of damage to it.
And you know what, our kids are better than that, so
Well, I'm
let's let
just
them
saying,
rise to the
yeah,
occasion.
This is in the, yeah.
These are smart kids, let's not.
Yeah, they are smart.
Is it wrong to volunteer and stand in the girls' room with a taser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it.
We're being-
Oh.
Provides I was
Anyway,
doing that with parents.
if Amelia would be
It's a
amenable
shame.
to
Go,
it.
go.
I think it's a good exercise with them, because now it's gonna be conversation like, oh, they're paying attention, oh,
Mhm.
they recognize, and I know you do, Pat, I know you do. You probably spent 95% of your, 25,000 hours that you put in a day on this stupid bathroom.
It's still a lot.
I think,
I agree with it, I don't disagree with
I
what
think
you're
it would
saying,
be
Chris.
fun and interesting to
Let's
see how
ask the students tonight.
We know
all
what the
for it.
problems are.
I think they'll totally tackle that. Our 2 new members are both on Student Voice Committee, and I think they'll,
Let's pitch it, make it
Yeah.
fun, make it a fun exercise,
Yeah.
this is what's happening,
Oh.
it's still happening.
Mike, food, that's the other one. Sorry.
I was talking to a faculty advisor at Northeastern
Mike, you're so bad.
in the educational administration, and he said, what classes should be offered? I said, have a plumbing class. I'm just letting you know right now. That's all we talk about. All I
That's a
talk
good one.
about is
And
that.
they could go and,
Whatever.
as situations arise, alright. Okay, that horse is now decaying, what's next, Pat? We're still at varsity, by the way. Did we ever hear
Has
back?
anybody seen this out here? Did you see this?
What's this?
My best news, great news.
Go ahead.
So,
Did we ever hear back from Ivan in the capital planning team?
no, but the foreign substance that was in the boys' locker room has been remediated.
Oh, nice.
The blob.
Which is a huge step, and then they didn't do the staircase, and they came back, and I gotta go check, they came back to do the staircase, which is unbelievable, they did the staircase. But that back locker room has been remediated, like, if you remember,
Yeah.
I've never been down there, but in the big area, then you have, right, so all that ceiling stuff's been remediated finally after how many years? And I believe they were coming back, because I said, why wasn't the staircase done? Right. I believe they came back to do the staircase, but I have not seen that, but I have been down in the boys' locker room to see the back locker room getting remediated, which is great news. Now, I'm gonna cut myself off here, until they solve the water issue, we know what happens. So, at least we've got that remediated to a point, now we gotta figure out if they're gonna come back with the water issue. Because that's the problem.
But no response to that email that we had
No,
sent out.
and I will, as full disclosure, I've not followed up.
Okay, so at this point, since we're going on Christmas break Friday, let's wait till we come back so we can tackle it when we come back to January.
I might have some time, I might just reach out to them,
Great,
because I haven't had.
yeah, it's been like 2.5 months, I think.
September.
Okay, that's plenty of time for them to digest.
Yeah. I
Okay,
will, I just will repeat, I know I'm a broken record.
There's a lot. You
Nothing
could say
goes
a lot.
fast in this
You could
system.
say a lot.
I get it.
But following up is a good thing to do, and I meant to get to it.
All we
but
can do,
honestly,
documentation.
Right, so I believe I will have some time, we'll
Okay,
see.
if you
what
do,
the hell's going on
otherwise,
over there?
it's fresh in their mind come January, just give them, okay, the locker situation, I think you had,
I can definitely give you an update on that.
let's do it.
Every person who requested a locker and then did the follow through, which was just, I need to confirm what type of lock. Did they have it that block? Did they not? I sent it out to everybody who since, let's say, August. All of them have been given a locker.
So everyone who wanted a locker has been given a locker.
And it works.
Real
because
quick,
two of my kids.
Real quick
did.
before, this time up right here, this is Mr. Kessler, he's our athletic director, I know some people haven't met him.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So it works.
It-
So
I
if
knew it
anyone
did.
has any issues with lockers, it's because they're not following.
Thank you. And in the bulletin, I'm sorry, the student family communications,
It's in there.
it's there. If you want a locker, I gotta just fill it out, confirm what you need.
I just wanted to make sure.
I got you, I got you.
Confirm what you need.
Good, how are you?
And we'll facilitate that, and I
You can get a
will.
whole.
Is there a little icon or a little
Supposed to be doing some
something,
work right now.
like a little icon or something you could have on the website on the front page? So like it doesn't move down with announcements, but it kind of stays in a little kind of space. And I just mean because there are people that we have to capture in other ways besides reading the email, because I don't, you know how that is. There's always just people who have to find things in a different way. So I don't know if that would help to have just like a little icon, like click on this to get your locker form or something. I mean,
This is an ongoing process now, so.
It'll be.
If Laura says, you know what?
Anybody who,
If
I'm
Laura says, I really want a locker,
not saying no to.
she
I
can,
got a closet to clean out.
she can come to you and we'll hook her up with a locker.
All she has to do is fill out the form and she'll get it.
Perfect.
And I will give whatever credit is due. Make the logistics, make the plan, and.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great idea, because they have to have some skin in the game. too.
Officer Gina Rodriguez.
They don't wanna
has
do
been
it, and that's our.
the person who's really worked to make, to
I
get it
agree.
done.
Okay.
I wanna give credit to
Good, thank you for
Gina
that.
Rodriguez.
And
She
so this
is.
is how 2022, 2023 is gonna go.
She's
Same
in
way.
all. Yeah, so
No,
now
a lot
moving
better,
forward.
a lot better.
moving
Well, no, we have
forward,
yeah.
We will be able to release lockers, whenever we want.
But I'm still leaning
No,
towards, a
no.
lot of discussion we're going to, about like 1 month later.
Delayed, not
Yeah,
in
delayed.
September, so we can get our bearings and get
But
our
what we're also gonna do is
Never is good to
IDs
go.
that first week.
ID.
And now whether or not you've got an updated picture, I don't care if you got a third grade picture, it's going on there. You're gonna get your ID.
Yeah.
Before pre-COVID, we used to do
Orientation.
orientation
I know.
before school started, and that's when the IDs were issued. Are we not returning to that?
No, you know why? Orientation, don't forget, we've got 3,000 people here. To get them in here, it's really kind of weird. So there's other better ways. COVID has taught us better ways.
Okay, so
To
we're
service that
confident we
many
can
people.
administer 3,000 IDs in 1 week.
Yeah, because we always waited for the updated picture. Send us your picture. And we're like, I don't care if you're gonna use your freshman picture. If later on in the year you want it updated,
Yeah.
then this is the step to get your picture updated.
So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Good,
We
especially from a safety perspective,
Right.
from day one.
Just for clarification.
Yeah.
So the issue with IDs is always this. The programs are on the back, the lunch period is big, so when they walk into the lunchroom, they show their ID to the security officer, and they can enter the lunchroom. So the delay of IDs has always been due to programming,
Yeah.
right? So I think what we determined, because it was programming, we were taking kids in. If we get 80% of the programs are set, then we can just print the IDs and have ready to go, and then we can manipulate the 20%. Does that make sense? So we can print the 20% here,
In week 1.
right? So that was always been the delay.
Okay.
And what it's called is leveling, because
That's
certain
right,
classes are
right.
graded, so then they
So-
kind of saw.
So it always kind of goes with, okay, we've got this amount of programs done, ready to go, because the more we, like, if I print them too early, then I'm
Yes,
reprinting
yeah.
way too many,
Okay.
right? So
That's the cost.
that's how it kind of, that's always been the delay in the past. And then this year, we had a significant problem with the photos, because there were some photos from 7th grade, 6th grade, but that should not be as big an issue. But again, it's all about the schedules.
Okay.
But yes,
All right, so for argument's sake, by the second week of school, every TAF student should have their ID.
Most,
sure. I mean, I.
80%.
Unbarring any crazy.
Right, I don't want to
There's
paint
always
myself
things.
into a corner. 'Cause trust me, I
There's,
don't wanna do that.
a small
But-
fraction that there's some issues.
Let's put it this way, we want the IDs out as soon as we can.
Yeah.
So we are going to work to get them out
Okay.
as soon as we can.
All right, so we've got the
It
ID.
will not be the middle of October.
Well, I mean, it's already December, so the fact that we've got a plan that, again, unbarring no
Yeah.
COVID pandemic.
You know what, even, honestly, even if that happens, so the way the blockers are going to be done, it's so much better than what we had in the past. So I learned from the pandemic, the way the system was, by the way, I don't know, was a colossal failure. So through this process, able to develop a much better system, which is now being implemented. So moving forward, lockers are prepared, accommodations are done, and we're ready to give you that locker.
So October-ish is when the locker rollout will start.
Whenever my boss tells me, I will lock it.
End of October, right, November?
whatever Mr. Russo tells me.
I won't be here next year,
Oh.
I'll tell you.
Oh, yes, you will.
We can manipulate.
You'll
the
get a
grades.
text.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I said 3 years ago too, so,
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great, great job, Mr. Levens, thank you for,
He's awesome.
And Gina's on the ground, man, I'm telling you, like,
no, but
she's
these are,
amazing.
you got a lot of grief for the lockers.
Mhm.
You got a lot of grief, and we worked through it, this was a first time thing, and it turns out this is actually a better solution.
Much better.
And I hear what you're saying, and I guess, just because I think orientation is so important, Principal G, for the
Yes.
freshmen at the academy.
Well, we do have
We
freshmen.
have freshmen in the
connections.
software
So
connection.
we had like 900
Who will
kids.
be in the school before
Yes,
school
yeah,
starts.
Yes, in fact, that's where we got a lot of
That's on the books
pictures.
for this
Yes,
fall,
yeah.
for next
It
fall.
will be.
Yeah.
So,
Because
And I'm
I
actually gonna push for sophomore connection here, and if they don't fund it, I'm gonna try to fund
no,
it.
I insist, because you got these.
Well, you might
kids
not
at
be
the-
here next year, so I'm not.
Well, next year, my kid's gonna be at, she's gonna be a senior,
I
I'll
know,
still
I
be
know.
working.
Yeah, but it really is important, especially with the new campus, it really is. We need it.
You have half these kids
Yeah.
at the more freshmen,
I
who've
get
never stepped
Oh, I get it. We
foot
get all
in
that.
this building.
Yeah.
They need that.
We need a 7th grade, connection, because they've
Yes.
never been here. We need a freshman connection, we need a sophomore.
Yes,
We do. And so we're gonna fund it.
bar none.
Yeah.
That's it,
I'm hoping they fund it, but if not, we'll fund
we've
it.
got it.
Yeah.
I know this doesn't pertain to facilities, but it kind of does because it's a building. The only negative I heard about the sophomore connection from people was, it was probably a COVID thing that I wasn't aware of. The scavenger hunt for things around the school, so you learn the lay of the school and the
Yeah.
room numbers that my freshmen did with freshmen. It wasn't done, or maybe some kids didn't do it for the sophomore thing this year, or
Yeah.
wasn't touched upon enough.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
A lot of people were like, hey, if they could do something a little bit more
Yeah.
so that they learn the school better.
Do they
That
have
was
their
only-
schedules during the orientation? Are they given so that they can walk from class to class to
That's
class?
an ask.
I'm not quite certain.
Yeah.
that's,
No.
if we did it in July, August, I don't know. Some of them might have had it, but I don't.
And no, because Aspen didn't spit their schedules out until late
That's
August.
a good point. I don't think. But you know, it could be fun if you don't think so.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah, that was, everyone absolutely loved the freshman and the sophomore, but kids who had never been in this building in COVID, they were just like, I really wish they would have done more of that, so we knew where things were.
So again, I'm gonna be student voice. Is this something we can put on our students to email those who went through it and say, how would you improve?
Yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna micromanage the counselors, because they're doing a really good job. And-
They do a
and
great
the
job.
Counselors and the caseworkers, and,
But the kids are the
Yeah,
ones
I
who
know,
are
but
experiencing.
they're gonna do that. I guarantee they're gonna ask the kids, and they're gonna
When?
ask, because what happens is they get the kids from the
They should
previous,
be planning this now.
well, they get the kids from the previous year to actually help with it. So they do elicit that advice.
I wish, I hope I was as
Vodka.
optimistic as you. My kids want to go to college,
It's what's dirt.
college physics, and they can't even do that. And they're juniors, so I
This is like as
understand
simple
what
as
you're
a survey
saying.
monkey to send
I
out.
get it, but
Give us one or two ways to
They
improve
won't do it. I
upon.
know they won't do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
And that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got feedback. In fact, I would go on record saying I'm quite certain that group that ran those.
Probably,
I'm
yes.
sure they
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Solicited feedback in
Yeah.
one form or another.
Okay, can you get me the feedback? Because I'm curious what the students said.
Sure.
Who,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sure there's an AP, somebody in charge of it.
I'd like to see it. I'd like
Yeah.
to see what our students said, how they can improve upon it. They're the ones who went through it. Again, our kids are smart. They can come up with solutions and ways. to
And I just want you to know that nobody was doing it, and then we decided to do it like 5 years ago.
Fantastic.
And then the next year, CPS decided to do it and fund it again, and they were basically telling us, send us your stuff. And so they took our model here and
And you
instituted
know
it.
why? Because we don't lower the bar,
I know we don't.
It's fantastic.
okay? It's your fault.
You eat these
said-
cookies and you'll see where the bar is.
Yeah.
Did you bring?
Yeah,
Did you put-
right behind you,
Got
right
cookies.
behind.
I'm trying to go on a diet here.
guys
This is the wrong time to go on a
She
diet.
must have said I baked it.
All right, fine, it's fine, look. Sorry. Okay, anything else? Oh, you kept pointing out to here, which you
Yeah,
can't
did you
see
see, you
anything.
can't see, but right now, we've had the landscapers, it's been my goal this year, the landscapers to beautify everything. So when you're going down Natoma,
Okay,
there used to be like this big obtrusive bush there. It's gone on the corner of Natoma and Bryn Mawr.
I didn't notice it was gone.
It's gone.
I play it every morning.
okay.
Okay, but
So
hold on,
we
there's
did
three spots.
landscaping
There's three
done.
spots, so that spot, look at that bush, it's all gone, it was like, Mr.
The
Sherman,
map, that's fantastic.
he said, you gotta get rid of this tree, and we're gonna put the monument there.
Do you wanna point?
Yeah.
Do you wanna point?
You got a map there?
Of course,
Unbelievable.
Tommy's got it.
I cook, I pass by it every day.
Front porch.
Down south.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
the
Hurlbut,
Hurlbut
Natoma.
and Natoma.
Because there was a big dead crab apple tree.
Yeah,
Fell there.
and so it's all gone right now. This whole tree is gone right now, so that's gone.
Okay.
Over here, if you go right out here, just right out here,
Yeah.
they've taken out all the dead trees and all the dead trees over here, and it's really nice shrubs, but what I've been trying to get for years is we've got 6 cherry blossom trees
Yes.
that are gonna blossom in the spring,
Mhm.
just like they are in Washington. As I keep saying, Mrs. Taft brought the trees from Japan and put them in Washington, so it's like our homage. So this is gonna be all these trees.
Okay.
And if you go by Natoma where the old original entrance is, it's looking beautiful right now.
Okay.
How are
This
you?
campus is gonna be glorious in the springtime,
Okay.
I guarantee.
So in the little daylight that we have,
Uh-huh.
we need to be observant of the Hurlbut and Natoma.
Just look around, you'll see all the changes, yeah.
Mr. Levin, anything else for the varsity campus?
What newspaper are you with, sir? That's Mr. McKinney.
For a frame in his living room.
Daily Oklahoma.
The Daily Oklahoma. Oh, we're really stretching here.
And,
Varsity campus, I believe we covered.
now, there was something about the security cameras, Henry Gonzalez.
Yes. No follow.
Okay, so we'll just keep that on
Keep it on. the
we'll keep it parked and, okay. All right, let's shift to the freshman campus. We covered custodial issues. It's a crime there and here, and we're gonna be living with this for a while. Anything else at the freshman academy?
So I believe on the last month, and I kind of overlooked it. I looked at the stuff, there was, we were exploring the option of the parking lot on the side.
Oh, yes,
Okay, so
the city-owned lots.
the city lot.
And
So-
she contacted Spizzato.
Yeah, and I don't think
Because I haven't gotten back to you.
Spit it out.
Principal Bridgehaber?
This is
Lozano, I
actually
believe, was like, great.
Okay, Principal G, what's next with that?
But
Which
here's the.
parking lot.
The-
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I called Pizzato and said, Anthony,
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, yeah,
Nick.
this lot is here, have you done anything? No. And he said, Mark, why don't you just have them parked?
Okay,
And I said, you sure? He goes, yeah. I go, are they gonna get tickets? He says, is there signs that say no parking?
no,
He said, no. He said, let them park there.
have we told the teachers they can park there?
Okay, so that's where we stand right now. So he's good with that. Go ahead, Pat.
Here, I was over there a couple times last week, this week, I don't remember, weeks ago. Ryan and I sat down, we talked about it, I observed kind of a lot, there's some construction projects going on in the back, so there are trucks and stuff going, kind of going in and out there, I don't know what's going on back there. The lot is not paved,
Right,
we have, weather coming up, we have snow, slippery.
You gotta go up a
My
curb.
recommendation is we do not message anything, if people park there, that's up to them. But I really do not want to be on record saying we suggest, you can park there. And
It can't be
that's my.
plowed or salted or
Well, that's the
shoveled,
thing,
if
like,
somebody
there's
falls.
it's grass and dirt.
Right, there's no way we can manage that space at this time. So my response is, park district lots available, the path will be plowed, the walkways will be salted. You know, I'm sorry, I'd like you to park right next to the building, but I am not recommending people park there. And if you choose to park on your own accord, that's up to
So
you.
park it at your own risk if you want to.
Yeah, but I feel that we, as administration, as staff at high school, do not need to be on record saying that.
No, absolutely not.
That's my.
And you know what it's gonna take? Once they see a couple of cars parked there, everybody else is gonna start parking.
And that's up, that's.
Yeah.
So
But
why-
I agree.
but somebody did park there, and I did confirm with Ryan, and they complained about someone trying to steal a Cadillac converter. It was that spot, it was that area. But
In the-
I-
in the
that can happen
daytime?
anywhere.
In the daytime?
That can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
if people on their own accord decide they want to try to park there, that's on them. I do not recommend it.
But I honestly,
Just FYI, guys, it's 5:16, just so you know.
Alright.
No, just, you know.
And so Spizzato basically said, just go ahead and park there. not
don't
put
park there if you
anyone-
want to, yeah. So again, I don't wanna put that out to everybody. If they wanna park there, they can park there. I also, you know what, I also think that I'm not gonna advertise it, but if teachers wanna park in a legal Chicago parking spot, park on Normandy. I mean, I know we're trying to be good neighbors and everything like that, but it's nice to be a good neighbor in the fall when it's 60 degrees outside, when you can walk, when it's bitter cold and icy.
Still a legal city street.
I know,
right?
so I mean, we're being nice as we can, but, you know, if I'm telling my sister, park there, it's a legal spot, okay? And if they're gonna be all mad again and stuff like that, but you know what? It's a legal spot. We've been really good, nice to them, and when the spring comes around, maybe we'll do it again. But right now, it's a legal Chicago spot. If they wanna do that, I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna promote that, because they're gonna say, look what you said, but I'm not gonna stop it, and I'm not gonna say, don't do that. That's
That's
just
why
the
we
way.
paid for a city sticker and our tag on our license that allows us to park where
Yes.
there's parking.
$200 for a sticker to do that, yep.
Okay.
Honestly, I believe that's pretty much it.
Nothing else at the freshman academy? Thank you. Okay, anybody, on the council have any additional facilities questions for either campus? Principal G, anything you want to add?
Nope, you're doing good.
Okay, then.
Pat, you're doing an
um,
awesome job. Thank you.
I'd like to conclude the facilities committee meeting at 5:17. I mean, if you would cut us off at